Hey guys, today what we're going to do is we're going to actually demonstrate how to do the pelvic exercises on the wobble disc or on the exercise ball. So my son has volunteered to help out. This is Maxwell. So we're going to start with flexion extension of the low back, and these exercises are meant to actually increase the amount of fluid that goes back into the disc. So you have to actually compress them and then decompress them to help pump the fluid in and out of the disc, so you can get those different areas moving better, okay? So what we're gonna start with is flexion extension first. So Maxwell's gonna raise his arms above his head, and now he's gonna flex forward, and when he flexes forward, he's gonna bring his hips back, and then he's gonna go back and extend, and he's gonna drive his hips forward, okay? And he's gonna do 10 strokes in each direction. Go ahead. Good. And he's gonna be breathing nicely as he's going. This way he's taking a nice deep breath, letting his stomach out as much as he can. This way you can get a full range of motion. Excellent. So he's actually using really good form and he's extending well. Good. So next one we're going to do is we're actually going to laterally flex from side to side. So he's going to keep his hands above his head and he's going to lean towards the side, and his hips are going to go towards the same side. Go ahead. Good. And he's going to actually, with his hips, he's really trying to accentuate the motion to try and get as much motion into his low back as possible to pump those little discs as he's moving. Did you see that? Okay. The next one we're going to do is we're going to actually have him drop his hands down, and he's going to put them next to his ears, and he's going to go do a similar motion from side to side. Good. So he's not really pushing his hands are right next to his head, and he's not really pushing with his hands, but he's really driving with his hips still. Great. He's doing it really nicely. So next one he's going to do is he's going to drop his arms into an I Dream of Genie type of position, and he's going to do the same thing. He's going to be tilting from side to side. Excellent. Doing this repetitively is actually going to help to get the fluid back into those discs that lose their disc height over the course of the day. Next, he's going to do rotations to each side. Go ahead. And notice how he's turning his head with his arms, which is great. This way he's actually really focusing all his attention on his low back. Now, a person who sits down all day should probably be doing this twice a day, morning and then evening, and you need to do it kind of consistently so that you can actually get those fluids to be more regularly into the disc. Next, we're actually going to have him drop his arms down, and he's going to do a figure eight. Actually going to do a circle to the right. So let's start with that. Okay, he's going to do a clockwise motion, and he's really focusing on rotating his hips as much as he can. Good. Now he's going to do a counterclockwise. And notice how he's maintaining his posture as best he can, and he's really focusing on isolating his low back. Excellent work. And finally, we're going to finish up with him doing a figure eight. So he's going to drive his weight towards his left knee, and then he's going to drive it back towards his left hip. Then he's going to drive it forward into his right knee, and then back towards his right hip. And he's going to continue the figure eight. Hitting all these different range of motions is really going to move as many of those little muscles and those little joints as possible, and that's a great thing. Okay? So if you consistently do this, what you'll find is that your flexibility and range of motion will improve over the course of time. It may take a bit of time before it actually gets all that fluid back in there, but this is a great exercise for you to start with.